fire extinguisher. It backfired in her face. It could have put her eye out. It was, yeah, and that's with all the prayer that we had.
I had to go to the hospital.
Why,
You did have to go
Monique?
to the hospital. That's right.
Because
Mr. Daniels had me doing this scene, okay? And we outside. And it was the demon was supposed to be on top of the...
It's the #1 movie on Netflix right now. But should Christians be watching The Deliverance? We're talking about this right now on Breaking Mediocrity. Welcome to Breaking Mediocrity. I'm your host, D.A. Bourne. I appreciate if you like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I greatly appreciate it. So we're going to talk about this. Yeah, should Christians be watching The Deliverance? Look, I hardly knew about this movie until I watched a YouTube video last night. Marcus Rogers talking about people should avoid watching The Deliverance. And I'm like, okay, Deliverance, is it in theaters? Where is it at? First, I thought it was in theaters, right? Then come to find out it's on Netflix. And one thing about Netflix is this. Netflix has blessed us with the ability to choose and watch whatever we want. So when something comes out and it's on Netflix, what we have to do, we don't have to buy no tickets or anything. We could just click the button and we can watch it. Now, this movie is about a family who moves into this house in Indiana, and it's full of demons, and they believe that it's a portal to hell. A lot of mixed reviews right now. You have people that are saying that this is a movie about spiritual warfare and deliverance and driving demons out, and it's a real good movie in terms of being aware of the demons that are around the world. And then you got some that are saying that if you watch this movie, it is going to affect your home. But anyway, what I want to do right now is I want to show the clip of the cast of The Deliverance talking about some of the things that actually took place in making the movie. And then after that, we're going to discuss what we should do about it, or what I suggest people should do about it. Here we go.
Yeah, because it's deep, dark stuff, and you got to have some kind of release, and you got to have a safe space.
And even with that, there were still things that happened on the set. That was, my sister was is in every movie that I've ever done as my good luck charm, and she was in the scene with Glenn in the chemo scene, and she's the one that sort of gave her attitude in the chemo scene. Girly.
Yes, girly, we love her.
And 2 days later, after being in the chemo scene, she was diagnosed with lung cancer.
What?
Literally, my dog died on the set. When we were putting the she was spraying the demon out.
Fire extinguisher.
A fire extinguisher. It backfired in her face. It could have put her eye out. It was, yeah, and that's with all the prayer that we had.
I had to go to the hospital.
Why,
You did have to go
Monique?
to the hospital. That's right.
Because
Mr. Daniels had me doing this scene, okay? And we outside. And it was the demon was supposed to be on top of the building. So they kept blowing Bev, at one point I'm like, Lee, do we have this shit? Because I can't breathe. They kept blowing. He was like, one more time. So when I got finished, right, my thyroid was a big, it was just sick. Oh, baby. I was like, what kind of shit is this?
Isn't that crazy? So you had Lee Daniels, who's the director of the film, who has his sister that usually comes to support him in his films. So after she does her role, two days later, she's diagnosed with lung cancer. His dog dies in the midst of the film, and Monique is hospitalized. And then they said there's a whole bunch of stuff that went on, that they actually had a preacher there, or a pastor there, that was praying during the filming of the movie, and yet still there is stuff going on. Okay, so this is not the first time things like this have happened. One thing is that when you do talk or do movies or anything in regards to demons or manifestations or anything of the sort that deals with the realms of hell and Satan and all that stuff, you are gonna get some pushback. You are going to get some pushback. You're going to get some physical and maybe some mental damage based on what you're watching and or participating in it. So, but here's the thing. Actor Lee Daniels, he is not a Christian, right? He's not a Christian. He's an openly homosexual as well. I read an article, and it didn't say this in the clip, but in the article he says he leaves himself as an open portal. What does that mean? He leaves himself open to whatever movie he is doing. He embraces this. He gets himself so much into the movie that he's doing that it just comes out. And he didn't want to do this movie, but eventually he did it. But the fact that he's an open portal, he allowed those demons that he is talking about and what's going forth in the movie to enter in to him. And when you enter, when you do something like that, that is very dangerous. So me in my thing in saying this is that if this was a Christian movie, if this was a Christian director and this was a Christian production, and the theme of this was deliverance, right? It would be a different matter because this movie would have a spiritual purpose. It would have more of an answer to break through on how to get rid of that stuff. And okay, I have not seen the movie. I don't plan on watching the movie because I don't like horror movies, okay? And anything and psychological horror movies are even worse because they just mess with your mind and stuff. So I'm not gonna watch it. All right, I didn't even have any intentions to watch it, to be honest with you, because I'm not a huge movie watcher anyway. But back to what I was saying is that if this was Christian directed, let's say Angel Studios or one of those Christian companies did, it'd be a different story. But when you have a director that, for one, is not a believer, is not not someone who serves the Lord, does a movie like this, and they're outward about their lifestyle, stuff like that, you are gonna get some pushback. So for Lee Daniels to be an open portal to allow these demons to come inside of him and to project it into the movie, what makes you think that those same demons cannot get inside your home as you're watching the movie? This is something very serious, and so now I can see the pushback right now. You'd be like, well, DA, that you're just picking on this movie. What about all the other movies out there? Yes, there's a lot of movies out there that have certain things that they can push it out through the television, through into your home. We all have to watch the things that we absorb, the things that we take in, and because if you take too much of it, it can do something to you psychologically and then spiritually, and then you find yourself dealing with some other battles that you thought, hey, why am I dealing with this now? I never dealt with it before. And then sometimes you have to look back and say, ooh, what was I watching? What was I listening to? You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference, and that's why I personally don't think that Christians should watch it. But this is a free country. Netflix, you pay for your Netflix, it's available there. It's freedom of choice. You can watch it what you want. However, if you choose to watch it, just be mindful that watching these things can have consequences based on what you're taking in. Because, like I said, if you can get into, if you're an open portal in terms of watching this stuff, you never know how these things can affect you later on. All right. And another thing I wanted to point out is that is very subtle. You see the cover of the Netflix movie when you open the app. It's not the same as the one that I saw when I looked at it on Google. Now look at this one, the poster that they do not show on Netflix. You see the picture of the 4 characters in it, right? But look at the middle. That resembles an upside down cross. Now, if you see something like that, like an upside down cross, that should give you any indication that this is a movie that maybe I should avoid. Because anything that shows a cross upside down, that should be alerts right there. But of course, the Netflix app is not going to show this poster when you click on the movie, and they know what they're doing. The enemy's very subtle, and I'm going to leave it at that. What are your thoughts? Did you watch Deliverance? What did you think of it? Are you going to watch Deliverance? You know, am I far off my rocker, or what are you gonna do about it? Leave it in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Breaking Mediocrity. I will catch you on the next one. God bless. I am out. Peace.